Good morning. Welcome to Hamilton Hills this morning. How's everyone doing out there? Doing all right? This is the one Sunday where we don't have to worry about anybody not sitting up towards the front. It's like when I'm preaching, you guys all sit in the back. The kids are here. You all sit up towards the front. It's awesome. I'm not offended at all. Hey, if you're a guest with us this morning, I'm glad you're here. If you'll do us a favor, on the seat back in front of you, if you have a seat back in front of you, there's a QR code, and we'd love to know about you, get to know you a little more. If you scan that code, it takes you to a digital Get Connected card or a connection card. Also, there's a actual card in the seat back in front of you. You can fill that out, give it to anybody on our team out in the lobby, and we have a gift for you just for being a guest with us this morning. We're so glad that you're here. Also, during the service, this is a little bit different of a service. We got our kids that will be coming up here in just a moment. As they come up and as they go out, there may be some kids that are in here. And if you have a child and they start to get a little bit like, oh man, maybe we should take them out. We have a family room right there, off to my left, your right. And you can come in and out anytime during the service. It won't be a distraction, but that's there for your convenience. We live stream the service in here in our family room. So I'm going to have our kids come on in. Can we give them a hand as they walk in here? There we go. I know a couple of these guys. This is one of my favorite. I don't have favorites, but this is one of my favorites. Hey, Samson. How we doing, buddy? Yeah, come on. He's a little lost. It's all right. Come on in, guys. As they're coming in, I want to also announce our Christmas Eve services. So if you take your attention away from all of the cute little kids coming in and up to the screen, we have our Christmas Eve services December 22nd at 5 p.m., December 24th at 2, 3:30, and 5 p.m. Two of these services are just about sold out. Well, I say sell out. We're not selling tickets, but if you want to be a part of these services, you need to register today because we are running out of room in each one of these services. So make sure you register. And then next year, it's weird to say that because we just have our Christmas Eve services, and then next year we start a brand new series called Strength in the Herd, and it's a continuation. It's the next chapter in our series Into the Storm. And so let's give our kids one more hand as they come in here. Is this everybody? They have been practicing for several weeks now. We have such a great team, Miss Claire and Miss Noelle, that have been putting all of this program together. All right. Can I join in? Can I be one of them? What's so funny, Emmy? All right. Let's enjoy. You can stay seated, by the way, for this.
That was awesome. I'm going to have everyone go ahead and stand with me. We're going to sing this next song, I Thank God. And I do thank God so much. I've got one actually singing in this. So they're going to help us out with this song. Here we go. Wandering into the night, wanting a place to hide this weary soul. Just when I ran out of road, I met a man I didn't know, and he told me that I was not alone. You picked me up, you turned me around, you placed my feet on solid ground. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior, because you healed my heart, you changed my name. Forever free, I am not the same. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior, I thank God. I cannot deny what I see. Got no choice but to believe. My doubts are burning like ashes in the wind. So long to my old friends, to burden and bitterness, you better keep it moving. No, you ain't welcome here. Now till I walk the streets of gold, I sing about you, save my soul. This wayward son has found its way back home. You picked me up, you turned me around, you placed my feet on solid ground. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior, because you healed my heart, you changed my name. Forever free, I'm not the same. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior, I thank God. Lost another one. I am free. Oh, I am free. I am free. Oh, I am free. And here lost another one. I am free. I am free. Lord, I am free. And here lost another one. I am free. I am free, Lord. I am free. And here lost another one. I am free. I am free. Oh, I am free. And here lost another one. I am free. I am free. I am free. Here lost another one. I am free. I am free. I am free. And here lost another one. I am free. I am free. Because you picked me up, you turned me around, you placed my feet on solid ground. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior, because you healed my heart, you changed my name. Forever free, I am not the same. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior, and I thank God.
All right, come on, guys, give them one more hand. Let's go. Awesome. All right, guys. As they are leaving and walking out, I feel like we need to give them like another hand, but like make them really feel it. Yeah. Good job, guys. You can go ahead and be seated. As you're seated, I want to tell you a little bit about this Sunday. It's a little bit different. We're calling this our Next Generation Sunday. Next Generation Sunday. As you see these kids walking out, this is the next generation. And we do our best at Hamilton Hills to be a church that is for all generations. We want to be a multi-generational church. People that are older, younger, and then our generational ministry, especially this last, I would say about year and a half, we've really put some effort into our younger generation and being able to shepherd them well, pastor them well. And so if you look up on the screen, we've got our Claire, Ryan, and Cody. They are our generational pastors and shepherds. And so I'm going to invite them up to the stage. We're going to do a panel this morning. I wanted our church to be able to get to know them a little more. I know you may be a grandparent in here, or you may be a grandparent in here that don't have any children in our generational ministry. But I'm believing that if you're here and a part of our church, that you know and believe that the next generation is so important. It is important what they are learning. It is not just important what they are learning. It's important you as a parent, if you've got kids that are in our generational ministry, it's important for you to know how to shepherd them well and how to lead them well as a family. All of our sermon series are designed this way for us to work together as a family. And so I'm gonna go ahead and start off and ask you guys a couple of questions. Some of them I don't know the answer to, even though I work with them. So like, for instance, are you guys believers? Just kidding, no. Joking. That wasn't even in the script.
We love Jesus.
No, what'd you say?
We love Jesus.
Oh, they love Jesus. We'll take that. No. Claire Ray, why don't you tell us how long have you been serving here at Hamilton Hills?
Yeah, almost 3 years.
Almost three years
on
now.
Valentine's.
That's awesome. And Claire is not just a staff member here. She's a mom of 3. And so she does an incredible job leading our children's ministry. Last week, altogether, from 5th grade all the way down to birth, we had 191 kids. And so she's shepherding an entire wing, a third of our church. So that's awesome. And then Ryan is our 5th and 6th grade middle school pastor. He does a lot of other things, wears a lot of hats, but he's doing a good job. And how long have you been here serving on staff?
About 6 months on staff.
About 6 months on staff, is our newest staff member, but has been coming to Hamilton Hills for a little over about a year and a half?
Yeah, almost 2.
Almost 2 years. And then Cody, how long have you been here?
I have been here just short of 2.5 years.
Just short of 2.5 years. That is said like someone in 7th grade, right? Like I'm 2.5. Yeah. Just short. I'm almost there.
I'm not 30 years old yet.
Yeah. I'm almost there. It's awesome. I think also including Claire, they're all taller than me. I think I'm now the shortest person on staff, and now I'm the oldest person. About a decade ago, when my wife and I moved up here to Indiana. Oh, no, we have Kendra. Kendra is our director of operations, and she is the shortest person on staff. Come on up here. No, I'm just kidding. But she is the smartest person on staff. And that is true. No, I'm so happy to and thankful to be able to be a part of a team and a family. We just had our Christmas party, our staff Christmas party, and I just love our staff. I love the camaraderie that we have. I'm now the old person on staff. 10 years ago when my wife and I moved up here, I was the youngest person on staff. Now I'm the oldest person on staff. I have no hair. I have gray in my beard. So any of you that you want to get into pastoring, it does you well. It's great.
Did we cause that?
Do what?
Did we cause that?
But some of it. No, I'm just kidding. That's great. So I'm going to start with the three of you. You can just kind of go in whatever order you feel like, but give us a little bit of the vision. Actually, no, I'm going to start with you, Claire, because I think it'd be helpful to go from birth all the way to teens. Tell us some about the vision, how this all works together, and what your vision is for HH Kids.
Yeah, so in the HH Kids wing, we really have 3 major pillars that are super important to us. The first is that we are teaching our kiddos biblical truths. Something really unique that we do here at Hamilton Hills is what you are learning here in this service. The kids back in the kids wing and in HH56 are learning the same thing. So myself, Ryan, Pastor Matt, Pastor Scott, we get together to talk about the different sermon series, what's going to be taught each week, what Bible stories we can pull, what biblical truths we can pull there, and then we kind of tweak them a little bit for it to be age appropriate for the kiddos. But that's just something really cool and different that we get to do here. That's awesome. I love hearing stories from parents that you get in the car and you can all talk about the exact same thing that was taught on Sunday. It's really, really neat. Just absolutely love that aspect.
I just had someone just this week that I was meeting with in my office, and they were totally separate subject, but they were talking about something they were going through in their life and how it was awesome that it kind of matched up with what Claire was teaching the kids. And so at the some of their drives home, they get to talk about all of that together as a family, which I hope you're doing that. If your kids are in children's ministry, I hope that you're doing that as a family, because that's by design. We spend a lot of time putting the series together and making sure that every generation can kind of go through that together. And not to interrupt, I want to get to the next party, but the only reason why Cody's doesn't have that going on in his ministry is because your students are here in this, and so he kind of does something that's supplemental to that, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Claire.
Yeah, and I love hearing stories of how kids are taking what they're learning back there and they are applying it during the week. I had a parent a month or two ago talk to me about their son. Their neighbor was over. Their neighbors are in their oikos. I know we talk about that a lot in here. We talk about that a lot back in kids, is who's in your oikos, who can we reach for Jesus? And he was in the basement playing with the neighbor, and she overheard them upstairs making dinner, and he asked the neighbor, hey, do you know Jesus?
Wow.
They were just playing, straight up asked her that, and she's kind of like, no, and he went on to explain to her who Jesus was, and pretty much shared the gospel. He's 6 years old, by the way. Just so cool, no fear, just wanted to share something that he loved because he loves Jesus and he loves coming to church, loves Hamilton Hills, and shared that with his neighbor, his oikos. So absolutely love hearing stories of kids going home and doing that.
That is awesome. Can we celebrate that? That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, so another pillar that's really important to us is that your kids are safe and they are loved. I have the absolute best team back there. I see many of you here this morning, but they love your kids. They love being here on Sundays when they're serving. They love pouring into your kiddos. And then we have a safety team that's back there each service that's walking around, checking on classrooms, locking doors, just kind of being the eyes and ears around the church too, making sure your kids are safe. And then the third pillar that we really want to key in on is that your kids are engaged and interactive, and that they want to come and they want to have fun on Sunday.
Not engaged like to be married.
No.
Okay, just
Too young
engaged.
for that.
Okay, good.
Engaged in the lesson. There you go. They want to have fun. They're back there learning their Bible verse this week and playing a basketball shooting competition game. Things like that. We're really intentional about wanting the kids to want to come and want to have fun.
That's awesome. And by the way, if you're wanting your kid to become good at basketball, Claire won a championship in high school and in college. So there you go. Yeah. Here we're a holistic church. We believe that the spiritual, physical, it all goes together. It's all important. Ryan, Ryan's position is unique because he is kind of he is the connector between kids ministry and also student ministry. And if you serve at HH56, would you just kind of raise your hand real quick? Put your hand up. Yeah, I know we have several in here. Yeah, can we give them a hand? That's a unique ministry, awesome, and growing ministry. Ryan, tell us a little bit about your vision, what you do.
Yeah. The 5th and 6th grade age is an interesting age. It is, they're coming out of not wanting to be a little kid, but then they still kind of are, but they're also in a couple of years going to be teenagers. So it's this weird middle space of just, it's so interesting, but it's so awesome. And when I first started here, one of my mentors, he was saying, he was like, Ryan, these kids at these age, they think they know all the Bible stories. They think they know what you're going to say. You got to make them think a little deeper. And so I kind of just received that, and I think my number one thing is just in terms of part of the vision of the 56, HH 56, is going a little deeper within Scripture and their relationship with Jesus, talking about what that really looks like, because I think life is getting a little more real during this age, and so I think Jesus needs to be more real and more present to them. So number one is going deeper, and two is just giving them a church community, friends, relationships with friends their age, but also leaders. Like we just had all the leaders raise their hands. Having those relationships kind of as a leader-mentor relationship is really special too. And I think of an example of the way we've built community. When we had our missions day back in September, I think it was, at the Hope Center, all the 5th and 6th grade squad, and I think the students too, we got to go pick these hot chili
By the way,
peppers.
hold on, before you get
No,
that.
it's okay.
These two share an office, and it is out of control. It is out of control. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I like to joke that they're the little brothers I never had.
Yeah, we get a lot of work done.
Productivity. Productivity, that's the word that I think.
Your giving is going towards no work getting done. Just kidding.
Anyway, Missions Day. We had the 5th and 6th graders, the high school students, and we were picking these hot chili peppers. And what we were doing is we were like harvesting them for local businesses, local restaurants, and then all the money goes back to the Hope Center missions. And so it was just a blast. Like all of us were out there serving, picking chili peppers. The kids were eating them, and they were begging for water and stuff. But it was really fun, but it was also really special because the next day we came to church and we talked about, hey, why did we just do that? Like, why did we just pick chili peppers and serve? So it was really just cool that was one of our first big bonding moments, I think, in terms of our HH 56 squad and having a community. So yeah, I would just say number one, going deeper with Jesus, and number two, having a community. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
And talking about community, you guys just had your Christmas party this
We
week,
did.
right? Yep. And I think it was like snowing or icy or something.
Yeah, it was
and
snowing.
How many students did you have?
We had 30 kids show up. It was
30,
great.
5th and 6th grade. Isn't that
It was
awesome?
a great time.
Great. So then, by the way, that 5th and 6th grade, not to put like super seriousness into this, but that age is so important, especially right now in this culture during this time. The average student will see pornography for the first time in that age group. By the way, whether they go to public school or Christian school or homeschool. With all the technology that is available and in the culture that we live in, this is a very formative year, especially for teenage boys, but also for teenage girls. And so we decided that even though we are a church at this size, it's not normal for you to have 3 directors or 3 shepherds over this amount of kids. Usually it's 2, but we wanted to be ahead of what's going on in our culture and go ahead and get 3 people that are pastoring in this area. So we're very thankful for you, Ryan. And then 6th grade into 7th, Cody and, all joking aside, Cody and Ryan do work very closely together, making sure that connection between 6th and 7th grade happens well. So Cody, tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Honestly, what you were saying about how we work, it's like it's a beautiful flow when students grow up in the church and they're connected to these ministries, and it's a beautiful example of the work that Ryan in particular in this situation is doing. Is we had a young lady join coming up in the 7th grade last year, and wonderful young lady, awesome. And we kind of scheduled it purposefully so when the 7th graders moved up, or close to when they moved up, we'd be having like a summer camp for for them to go and just get to know students and feel welcome and to enjoy that with all the other students, and just like a welcoming into the HH Students family. And it's just such a huge blessing, because we do, a lot of times I've been told, and it is true in many ways, of like, as a student pastor or a next-gen pastor, if you will, you sometimes don't see the fruit. A lot of times it's years later, and I did this with a mentor of mine of when I was like a young kid. Just recently got to have lunch with him and just share with him how big of an impact. And he wasn't my youth pastor, student pastor technically, but he changed me. He really helped develop my faith and my own thinking. And I didn't realize that until, much later in years, where I got to tell him that. But there is fruit, though, that I do get to experience and see. It's just having the lens of seeing the fruit, and not just always just telling myself, oh, one day it'll be worth it. No, it's worth it right now. And this sixth grader, she had just moved up. We go to summer camp, and I hadn't really done the work in the relationship. But through that bringing up, and I want to especially highlight her parents, who have done most of the work when it comes to raising their daughter in faith and to know God. But at the student camp, she decided that she wanted to continue in her obedience to Jesus and get baptized during that time. And she had just joined. And yeah, we can celebrate that for sure. And it's things like that, it's wins like that make this just so easily worth it. It's just a beautiful thing, and I just want to thank you guys for what you do in leading and coming alongside parents. So the vision of HH Students is similar to these guys here a little bit, but we want to come alongside you parents in here of teenagers. I know the teenage years, I am raising two little ones, very little ones at this point, so I have not personally experienced it yet, but I have seen it. It's fun, isn't it? It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and it really is. It's a lot of fun, but there are challenges in that, and all we want to do, myself, my wife, the student leaders here, we just want to come alongside you and serve you in any way. We know that you are the foundation of their faith and their journey to know Jesus. We understand that, but just allowing us to come in and love them as well, and just be another person in their life, teaching them the ways of Jesus. And that's what we want in HH Students. We want your students to know God, to come to love him and worship him with everything that they are. And through that, as they grow in who Jesus is, we want them to learn to serve, because that's really big in our walk. We need to learn to serve. So we want them to serve and love on their, what we call oikos here at Hamilton Hills, those people in the front row of their lives. During those teenage years, and I can lump myself into this lot, it's all about you. It can easily, as a teenager, you teenagers in here, it can easily become, just be wary of this. I love you. I say this in love. But you can easily become all about you during this time. It's my sports, it's my school, it's my this, it's my that. And we as Christians, as followers of Jesus, we're called to love and serve others. But we have to first receive that love from God. So we have to first know him and come to love him and know him. But then from that love, show that and do that. And that's one of the passions we have at HH Students, is to teach students to do that and to have opportunity. Like at the Hope Center, the students were given a gnarly job, and I loved it. I was so excited. I was like, ripping up disgusting carpet was the best thing we could have done. And they crushed it. And what I see is there's actually a genuine willingness from this generation of teenagers. There's a real willingness to do this. And it makes it more real when you're actually putting your hands to work and doing that. And then from there, serving their oikos, but then inviting them to come and follow Jesus together in that community. And that's the community we want. And we want the students to always be reminded that they have purpose, and we all have purpose in Jesus Christ.
That's awesome. We know it's challenging as parents. If you are a parent in here, or you've been a parent, you know that as soon as you get through one stage, you're like, got it. It's like they graduate into a new plethora and diverse amount of challenges, and they're like, oh, you figured me out. Now I'm changing. Ha ha ha. And then when you have like three kids, the one kid that's behind the oldest kid, you're like, oh, I've learned. And then they have a totally different personality, act completely different. We know it can be challenging, and that is why, one of the many reasons why I believe the church is so important, for you to raise your kid in church, for all of us to be doing this together, why we believe the importance in a multi-generational church, for there to be older wisdom and younger energy, all together in one church. We need each other. We have to do this together. And so I want to thank everybody that is a part, that serves in all these ministries as well. I wanted to ask you guys this because I was a student pastor for collectively about 12 years. And I've done children's ministry, was a children's pastor for a while, student ministry, even did a little college and career ministry. And I know how important generational ministry is, but I also know how frustrating it can be in this position that you wish you could just like tell parents like one thing, and if they could just get this one thing. So I'm going to give you guys the opportunity right here, okay? Be nice, be kind, because I'm also now have a teenager, and I'm not a youth pastor anymore, so be kind to me. But what would it be, Claire, if you could tell all the parents in here that you are shepherding their kids, one thing that you would let them know?
Yeah, it's going to be two things.
Okay.
First and foremost, I want you all to know that your kids are safe and they are loved. And I want you to be in here enjoying the service, getting fed, learning, and not worrying about your kids back in the kids' wing. I have 3. I get it. I've dropped them off with people I may not know very well before. So I understand those fears that come along with that. But I cannot brag enough on my team and just how amazing and wonderful they are and how much they love your kids.
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you.
Awesome, team. I want you to get to your second one, even though I told you one. But I had the privilege 2 weeks ago to walk through, Pastor Scott was preaching. I was like, I'm going to go walk through our children's ministry, walk through both services. Man, it was unbelievable. I couldn't even hardly get past the first room on the right where all the babies were. There was about 10 to 12 babies, all being held by this incredible team, loving them, even believing and having faith for these kids, these little babies, and then walking into the auditorium and just watching the team. So can we give our HH Kids team and Claire one more hand? It's just awesome. So incredible. So incredible.
Yeah, and then a common theme you hear a lot with, children's ministry and other ministries too is we only have 52 hours with them a year. And that's true. And we try our hardest to make the most of those 52 hours. But the reality is we only have a short amount of time with them. So I want to challenge you as parents to step up. There's so much you need to be doing at home with these kids. Make routines with them at bedtime, snuggle up in someone's bed and get out the Bible, start reading through Bible stories. There's so many amazing resources, so many great children's Bibles out there that the kiddos absolutely love. But be spending that time with them. Start at a young age where you're setting those habits. And it's just so important as a family unit. And then we'll come alongside you as a church and help these kiddos grow and learn and love Jesus.
Awesome. Awesome. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. We'll just keep the order going. I'd say for me, if I could say one thing, don't let a relationship with Jesus just be a Sunday thing. Make sure it's an everyday thing, in the home, in front of your kids. If it's just a Sunday thing, I think it's going to be a lot harder for them to get it. It took, certainly when I was that age, the fifth and sixth grade age, it took somewhat of a longer time to get it. But yeah, not letting Jesus just be a once a week thing, like make it an everyday practice, everyday presence. And then to expound on what Matt said, the fifth and sixth grade ages in middle school is very formative, and I do think as they're starting to mature a little bit more and want more responsibility, but I think also just being aware of what else is influencing them and what else is parenting them, whether that's technology, the content, what they watch, what they listen to, because I do think there is a lot of evil out there in that digital form, especially like Matt touched on, and just being aware and ready for that is huge. But like I said, if you're making Jesus an everyday thing and his presence in everyday practice, I think you're going to be okay. And like Claire said, we love your kids and we really believe in what we're doing and we believe in them. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. I was, with what you just said at the end there, just this past week at HH Students, we were talking about devices, screens, social media, things like that, and the challenges of that, and how do we be, the word is tech-wise, how do we be tech-wise in a technology-driven and a tech-driven world? And in that, you reminded me with with what you said. There was a phrase that I heard while I was studying, and it says "screens disciple," and it's just that, and it's so true. And I think it goes both ways. Though screens disciple our kids, but screens disciple us too. All the stuff that we feed, the amount of screen time we get, that many hours is going to do something to us on the inside, and then it's going to show on the outside. So I thank you for sharing that, Ryan. That's not what I had to share, but I thought I'd just add on there because I couldn't help myself. I have one thing to share.
the chemistry.
With you, so
It's the
I can
chemistry.
kind of get a couple things in by just going off of you. So would you like me to share?
I
now,
believe
or-
the original question was, what are the two things that you would like to share with?
All right, so 2 to 3 things I'd like to share with you. It is in many ways. We did the run through on a little bit, talking about what we're going to say on Saturday. We didn't talk about what we were going to say, and then Claire said it, and me and Ryan were like, dang it. She's basically saying exactly what we wanted to say, which is actually really cool. Yeah, thanks, Claire. I should have gone first, dang it. No, but along the same lines, though, prioritize your child's spiritual growth over everything. And the best way you do that is prioritizing your spiritual growth over everything. Prioritize God in your life as a parent, as a person, over everything, and you will love your wife the way you're supposed to. You will love your husband the way you're supposed to. You will love and lead your children the way you are called to if we are first prioritizing our faith in Jesus Christ first. And as we do that, that will flow out into our children, and they're going to receive wonderful benefits and blessings from that. So that would be my encouragement.
That's awesome. Yeah, can we give him a hand? It's good. We have about 3 minutes, and this is super important. Those of you that have students that are part of the communication that goes out every week or every other week. Is it every week, Cody?
Every week for me, yeah.
Yeah, every week Cody sends out a newsletter, kind of like upcoming dates, what's going on. If you're not a part of that, make sure you get with Cody. You can also email us at the church. Cody's email address should be, it's not up on there, but it's cody@hamiltonhills.org. We want to get you set up on that. Or just come find him. He'll get you set up.
It's C. Connor, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It's C. Connor.
Cody
Yeah,
works too.
Cody works too. I'm an idiot.
And if you do,
I know my work email, guys.
if you email C. Connor, it's CONNOR. OR, not ER. That'll get you the wrong person. And then Claire, you've got communication as well. How to?
Yeah. I have an email that goes out about every other week to families. I know. Oh, here we go. This is the QR code you can scan to get on that email list. I know. Probably about once a week, someone comes and says, I don't get any emails. Do you send any? And we do. So there's a little QR code for you. You can also shoot me an email and just let me know. I will say, if you tell me something on a Sunday, I'm probably going to forget it. It gets crazy busy back there, and I always, at the end of the day, who came up to me? Who said that they needed to be on that email list? And I just can't remember most of the time. So shooting me an email or using that QR code would be awesome.
Yep. And then Ryan?
Yeah, for parents, I also do the same. It's like an email list. So if you're not on the email list, please come find me, and I'll get you on there. And then if anyone wants to serve, if you like a little adventure in your life, a little bit of a challenge. I'm just kidding.
What time do you guys meet?
Yeah. Every Sunday in second service only for now.
In the student center.
In the student center, we have HH56. So yeah, if you want to serve, as a general rule of thumb for everybody, if you just go online to our website or scan the QR code in front of you on the chairs, it'll take you to a site, and you just look for Dream Team Sign Up, and you can literally select which, I'm interested in HH Kids, I'm interested in students, and then submit it, and we'll be notified. Or just come find us.
We need people with all giftings. So if you're like, I don't know if I could serve in HH Kids. I mean, I don't necessarily even like kids. No, I promise you have giftings that this team needs. It doesn't have to be super interactive with the kids, although it can be very interactive with the kids. Claire has people that serve every other week. You have people that serve sometimes even once a month. Is that correct? Yeah. And then sometimes every week. So we need your help. We are a growing church. You can see we are a growing church. We need your help. It'll be just as full in the second service. And so we need your help. We need your help because the next generation is important. And then one really awesome announcement I'll let Cody make. If you're part of the HH students email list already, we are making a change. We're making an improvement to our student ministry on the time that they meet, and we're going to start something really cool in January. You want to tell us a little bit about that before we wrap
So
up?
this is so exciting. So we're going to have at the beginning of January, I believe it's January 5th is the first Sunday. For 3 Sundays in a row, we're actually going to be meeting on Sunday morning during the second service as HH students. So every student that comes to Hamilton Hills, we want to make it available to you as easy as possible. And there's no easier time than when you're going to be here anyway. So for those, we're going to have 3 weeks in a row for those Sundays in January, where we're going to meet actually for the second service on the Sunday. And it's going to be very similar to what we do at HH students in general. But then from that point, after those 3 weeks are over, we will then launch into, right now we meet on Wednesday evening from 6:30 to 8. We are moving the day. On January 26th will be the first Sunday that we do this. It will be Sunday evenings from then on. So no, actually, sorry, for a season, for the till the middle of the summer, up until summer camp, and then we will reassess and see how that is going. But January 26th will be the first Sunday that we are going to be meeting Sunday evening from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. for HH students, moving that from Wednesday. So we are super excited about that. We're hoping some people, I've had many conversations, and it seems like that seems to be a good possible change for many in here. So
Okay.
we
So
hope that makes that easier on you too.
It'll be in the student center.
Yes.
It'll be in the student center on Sunday morning, second service?
Second service.
Second service, and here's what I'm going to ask all of you parents that have 7th through 12th graders. We are essentially right now, in the last 2 years, we've exponentially grown. And so a lot of your students don't know the other students that are in our student ministry. Right. You show up on Sunday, and I know how intimidating it is to say, all right, just show up on a Wednesday night. I know you don't know anybody, but have fun with that. We want to get everybody in the room all at once. And so please help me out, parents. Help us out. We want to get your students to know other students. And so take advantage of this January time. Drop them off. It's going to be highly relational, but there's going to be some subjects that you as a parent are going to want your student to be a part of. And so just commit to that. I promise it'll be great. It'll be awesome. And then let's real quickly, we got 2 big dates that we need to announce camp-wise. We have HH Kids Camp.
Yep. There you go.
June 16th through 19th. So take a picture of that, circle it in your calendar. That is our kids camp right here, right?
Yep.
Right
Yep.
on campus.
Absolutely.
And then Cody.
Yep, HH Student Summer Camp, June 28th through July the 2nd. And you can take a picture of that, but also we're going to have handouts for all you parents with teenagers in here. Or if you're just interested and you want to kind of see the times, what the schedule looks like, if you're interested in serving and you're like, well, let me see what the schedule kind of looks like for the next 3 months or so. We're handing out the HH Students calendar up until the end of March as you walk out. So don't forget to grab one of those so you know exactly what's going on. I do update consistently weekly through the parent email, but that calendar is going to be super, super helpful to you all. So
Awesome. Can we give them a hand? That was great. Thanks, guys. Okay, I want to take just a couple of moments, and we do this once a year. I really look forward to this time when we actually present the budget. A lot of work and a lot of vision and a lot of meeting and a lot of dreaming and a lot of prayer goes into every year us presenting the vision. I first want to say for all of you that regularly give, that you make generosity a part of your worship, because we believe here that generosity is an act of worship. We believe also at Hamilton Hills that we have a unique, very unique ability within the kingdom of God because of the county that we live in to be generous to other ministries and other kingdom works that do not have the resources that we have. We believe that is one of the ways that we fit into the kingdom of God and how we build it here on earth. To do that, it all starts at the very top with our elders. We are an elder-led church. So if you are brand new to Hamilton Hills and you're wondering who is in charge, first of all, number one, and all joking aside, it is God. We believe that Jesus Christ is King, so we do our best to follow His Spirit and His Word and His truth. And so thank you, God. Can we give God a hand for how He's led our church? this last year, 2024. I want to thank you as a congregation, no matter if you've been coming for 1 week or 2 weeks, if you've been generous, or if we have longtime members here that have been generous. Thank you for making this happen. Not because it's cool to be a part of a church that is growing, but because it is cool to be a part of kingdom work. We believe that with all of our heart, that we are a part of the kingdom of God. And so we play, hopefully, a large part, even if it is a small part, in that. So we are an elder-run church, and basically what that means is there are, right now, there are 5 laymen, so unpaid people in our church that run our elder team. Some people would view that as a board. We don't call it a board here because it operates much more like a family and spiritual leadership than a board, although they do board things. And one of those is vote on the budget. We have 2 elders that we are bringing on that we want to put up for an affirmation vote to our congregation. So in our Constitution and bylaws, we announce new elders. This is, by the way, the first time we've done this in 4 years. It is a, help me out, elders. If we have an elder in here? They don't go to church here, but I'm just kidding. Do I have an elder in here? Oh, we got Wayne. I believe it's a 5-year term. Is that correct? And so we wanted to start adjusting because it's the first 5 years is up. And so we didn't want to just take all 5 laymen off of the team and off of this group and just put 5 new people on. So we're starting in year 4, transitioning some new people in and transitioning some people off the team. So we're 2 new people up for affirmation vote. You have 2 weeks to contact the church if you have an issue with these 2 men. But I want to tell you that our elders spent a lot of time in prayer, a lot of searching, about a year worth of this. And then they spent 6 months being a part of select times of our elder meetings to see if it was a fit for the elders and see if it was a fit for them as well. So the first family that is up, and we're going to put the whole family up because it is a sacrifice not just for the person that is becoming an elder, but also for their family, is Jamie Buning. And so that is Jamie and his family. If you don't recognize Jamie, it's because usually he is behind the scenes. He's usually up in the booth serving. He's not up there right now, but he and his family, longtime members of Hamilton Hills, Jamie and Crystal Buning, and all of their sons. You'll see sometimes their sons up here serving worship. Sometimes they are back of the house as well. And then Tim Miller, the Miller family. You can put them up. Great family. You can tell Tim is a girl dad for sure. He and I share, well, I only have one girl, but I'm still a girl dad. Great guy, been here for a long time. He's actually is serving back in the back. So, Tim, what are you doing today? Slides? Live stream. Okay, so he's on live stream. Servant, great guy, good standing, but we also want to put this up for an affirmation vote. So when we meet back in January, that first Sunday, we will have an affirmation vote for these 2 men to become a part of our elder team. And now I want to talk about the budget. You can go ahead and just put the numbers up there. This is an increase from last year, and we want to be as transparent as possible with our budget. And so here are the line items. Obviously, there's more intricate line items that come up underneath each one of these. If you want a copy of our budget, that is available. Kendra, how would they do that? Email you, okay? At cconnor at hamiltonhills. No, I'm just kidding. Kendra at hamiltonhills.org if you want to view the budget or have any questions about our budget. Again, this goes through an affirmation process with our elders. It's about a 3-month process. Kendra comes and presents the budget. And then there's a bunch of other ways that would take too long to explain, but happy to explain any part of this budget. But we want you to be aware of where your money is going. This the staff portion, $719,000. That is the largest. We are the most fully staffed that we've ever been in the history of Hamilton Hills. And we also have a kind of directive of trying to get every staff member to live in our community. So a lot of churches in the area, their staff can't afford to live in this community, so they live far out from this community. But because we want to practice oikos, and it is a requirement of every one of our staff members and pastors to be practicing what they preach. And so they need to be practicing oikos. If we're asking you to do it, they have to be doing it. If we are asking you to be generous, they have to be generous. And so we want to be able to take good care of our staff. The expectations are high, but we also want to take care of them. And so that is where you'll see the increase in the staff. And then operational expenses. I want to just quickly, if I can take 20 seconds and explain operational and ministry expenses. If I can kind of combine those together, Kendra Hayes does a great job as our operations director of trying to get that as low as possible. One of our staff values is that we are scrappy. We try to use every dollar and cent to the best of our ability. We also practice swinging for the fences, so we are a faith budget. So although we are scrappy, we are also willing to swing for the fences as well. And so you'll see things that we'll do that, like, okay, like for instance, our missions corner over here in the lobby, which I'll explain in just a moment. We want that to be good. We want that to be excellent. We don't want to just kind of put one little TV up and say, okay. So we do budget as best as we can, but we try to keep that down as much as possible as well. And then missions and outreach, this is a large increase, much due to the fact that we went into a vision campaign this year. And I want to thank you, everyone that gave towards this vision campaign, because we took our budget and instead of paying money on the debt, we paid off our entire debt. We are now taking that money and being able to put much more of it towards missions and outreach. So thank you for being faithful in your giving. And that is reflective for the 2025 budget. I know we've been throwing around the number 20% a lot. And which is awesome. We want to get to that 20%. As our budget grows, the 20% also grows, right? So I want to show you what we've done over the last couple of years with our missions. If you go to the next slide, you see in 2021, our budget for missions was $86,000. We gave $87,000. 2022. It was 76 to 85, and then 2023 we did 100,000 for budgeted. Also, that drop in 2022 is because we did some shifting with our ministry partners, and so we took on more partners in 2023. But then we also gave a whole lot more, 123,000 with special projects. We were also not in a vision campaign in that year, and then 2024, that's this year. We were also in a vision campaign. We have 118,000 budgeted. We've given 116,000 so far year to date, but we're not at the end of the year. And so that will also be more than what is budgeted. So we've always given, traditionally, more to missions than what we budget for missions. Which leads me to the next point. In 2025, you can see that budget go much higher, right? We're giving a lot more, or we're budgeting a lot more towards missions, but we also want to give more towards missions than the 228,000. We're praying and hoping that, and I can't remember what the percentage is, but I think is it 17%? Okay, wow, I got it. Usually I exaggerate. It's like 19%. 17%. We want to still get to that 20, but that last 3% will probably be, because we're not in a vision campaign year, that last 3% will probably be given through special offerings to other places. But the money's got to come in order for us to get to that 20, but we're all the way up to 17%. Isn't that awesome? That is something to celebrate. I want to thank you as a pastor here to allow me and my wife and my family and our staff to be a part of a church that is generosity. One of our values is generosity happens here. We make it as a statement, like it happens, not like we want it to happen. And I can truly say generosity happens here. And thank you for being a part of that. And then let's see here. Okay, here's our partners right now, 8 to 15. We want to kind of use that oikos principle. We never want to have more than 15 partners, never less than 8. I believe that's 9. Someone do the math. Someone count that's good at counting. Oh, it's 10. 10 partners. So 10 partners, and some of them we gave increases. Some of them are brand new partners. All of this is going to be featured at our new missions corner that's coming, I believe, January 5th. The next Sunday that we meet back in person, that's not a Christmas Eve service. As you walk out, you'll see it kind of featured 4 TVs that we put together. This will show video footage and give constant updates to the giving towards missions and who our partners are and how you can get to know them better. Kind of put faces with the partners that we have. We wanted that to be something that, in case we're not announcing something on a stage on a Sunday morning or putting it out in an email, but something that you can see every time you walk out. Here is where your money is going when it comes to missions and outreach. So I'm super excited. A lot of hard work has gone into that missions corner. And if you want to give, or you want to start giving for the year 2025, here's how we do it. We have 4 ways that you can give. And as the Lord leads you, we don't have a 10% rule here. We just say, hey, generosity is good for you. And if you don't give here, please give somewhere. Give and be generous. It is good for your soul. I believe 100% if you do not give here, the kingdom of God will go on here. We don't need your money. What we need is people with generous hearts, because it's part of following Jesus. So if you're not being generous with your giving, I'm telling you right now, you are missing out, and you feel like, I can't do it. Start somewhere. Start with $5. Start with $10. Practice it and watch your life change. We say this all the time, and I know it's humorous, but I really, really mean it. We're not going to make you a promise that if you give $1, God will bless you with 2. If you give $1 here, you'll be down $1. What you will gain is joy. What you will gain is joy. You won't gain prosperity. You'll have a prosperous soul. You have a prosperous heart. And that is much more valuable than anything that you could own or gain. I believe that's it, except for one last announcement. We're going to do it through video, but we have a virtual Sunday on December 29th. And so roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hey, church family.
You guys got that?
On December 29th, Denise and I want to invite you to join us for Virtual Sunday.
December 29 is also our 17-year anniversary, so I love that we get to have a virtual Sunday together that day.
We'll be baking cookies together, and so as you leave today, make sure that you grab one of these jars. On the jar, there'll be a QR code.
A QR code, a recipe, so all the dry ingredients are in this jar. It's 1 per family unit, and pick them up after the service on your way out. Everything that you need to know will be attached to it.
Yep, the QR code will lead you to a landing page that will have a countdown for our virtual Sunday, so you won't be able to watch the video until December 29th. This way you can enjoy church on your couch with your family, enjoy the holidays. Can't wait to see you for Christmas Eve services.
All right. Can you guys stand with me? We're going to dismiss. Make sure you grab one of those jars on the way out. It is the first time Denise and I ever baked together, and I've been told if you don't watch the actual spiritual application while we're baking, wait for the bloopers at the end. Apparently, they're really good. You're dismissed. We'll see you back here for Christmas Eve services. Make sure you register.